I call this one price per unit. You see the same thing we are trying to calculate. I just change the name, you know. So it's how do we do this? It's just formula is sales over quantity. The same thing we did, earlier on. We did sales over quantity. We just want to repeat the same method, but using the custom column now. So how do we go about that? We select the sales. How do we select it? You either select the field or the column and click on insert. Anything, you have all the available columns in your table here. All the columns in your table will be listed out here. So you select the columns you want. So, and there are two ways of doing that. You either click on the column you want and click on insert to bring it here, or you just double click on it. So I've used the first method. I've clicked on it and I clicked on insert. It brought it to this left side, and I'll follow it up with my division sign. This division sign, then divided by what quantity. I can double click on it now. It's brought it here. So that's all we want to do, and it will calculate that for each row in the table. Each row, it will calculate that. And once you see this green mark here, this green check here, it shows that no syntax errors have been detected. That means this formula is good to run. You can run this formula and you'll be sure that you won't have any error returned. So we just click on OK. When we are done with that, it will create a new column as well. Yes, you can see price per unit. Exactly the same thing. Excuse me. Exactly the same thing. Both created new columns because we have these add columns selected. And don't forget, any new column or the newest column created will be moved to the end of the table. And that's what has just happened. So in this case, we used the custom column to create the same thing that we did earlier on. So that's just a brief introduction into what's it called, the use of custom columns. Then we can proceed from here, to do other things like let's this quantity. This quantity I want to create. I think that was the exercise we did earlier the other day. We created a band. We want to create a band for this quantity. We have a list of values there for the quantities. I think it ranges from 1 to 10. So you might say, okay, quantities between 1 and 4. That means quantity from quantity 1 to 4. Let's group it and call it less than 5. Escape. Quantities 1 to 4, group it and name it less than 5. Then from quantity 5 to 10, let's group it and call it from 5 to 10 or between 5 and 10. Then anything above 10, we call it more than 10. So we can use custom column to create that. We can as well use a conditional column to create that. So that sort of custom column is called a conditional custom column. And as I will show you, I will tell you, or we will see why it's a conditional custom column. So let's go back to our custom column, do the exact thing we did earlier on. We click on it. Let's call it quantity band. Quantity. Let me first remove this. Quantity band. Sorry, yeah. So quantity band, that we want to create a quantity band now. So that means we want to group the values in this quantity column. That's what we want to do. So we still use our if statement here. We still going to use our if statement. I'm going to say if quantity. So we can just select the quantity here. Don't forget, it's going to go row by row. Look at all the quantity values. If quantity, double click on it, give a space, is less than 5. This a number. We don't need to put it in quotes. It's only when we are when we are typing or we are inputting text, that's when we put it in double quotes. If it's less than 5, then what should happen? Call it less than 5. Call it less than 5. Let's go to the end. Now I want to move to the next line. You press shift and enter. Shift key and enter. It takes to the next line. Then don't forget, after if, the next thing is else if. If that's what if you see, remember how we did it in when we are using conditional columns. After if, the next clause we saw was else if. So we still follow the same process, the same procedure. Else if what? Same quantity, double click on it, else if quantity is what? We can say if it is we can say else if quantity is less than or equals to, we can use that. If it is less than or equals to 10, if it is less than or equals to sorry, someone just sent me a message. Less than or equals to 10, less than or equals to 10, we can give it a name. Then what do we call it? We can call it between, we can say from 5 to 10 or between 5 and 10. We all understand what we mean. It's ranging from 5 and 10 are inclusive in this case. So it's between 5 and 10. So then if any number that falls outside this range, any number greater than 10, let's press our shift enter again. Else, that means if this number falls outside this range, what should we name it? Just call it more than 10. That's the end of it. You can see that. So once we are done, we check if there are syntax errors, so this will show if there are syntax errors or not. You can see that. So you can just quickly go over it. If quantity is less than 5, then what should we call it? What should be the outcome? What do we want to see in the new column? Less than 5. Let me name it 5 in number, not word. Less than 5. Then if it is else, if quantity is less than or equals to 10, then what we want to see for that row or for that value is between 5 and 10. Else, that means for any number that falls outside this range, that means it's not less than 5 and it's not less than or equals to 10. That number should be assigned the value, more than 10. So that's exactly what we want to achieve. When we are done with that, we can safely click on the OK button.
I have a question, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, please, can you go back to where you put the conditional statement?
Okay.
Yeah, where you put the custom code, all those codes.
Oh, the issue is that once
you go, okay, you can't go back.
That's why it's called a conditional custom.
Okay.
Once you have written the code, but it's here on top. Okay, it's here on top.
Okay. What I wanted to ask was the quantity and all that. Why was it inside a curly bracket and another bracket? So that looks a bit confusing.
I didn't. Do you mean this?
Yeah, this one. That curly bracket. I mean that brace bracket.
That's the
syntax, Abby.
Is the syntax.
Okay.
Column names come in that square brackets.
Okay, so we have to put it ourselves, or
No, you don't put it yourself. The moment you double click on that column name, it assigns it a square bracket by itself. You don't need to do that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So with that said, so that is, we have it now. For anything, for any quantity, what's it called, between 5 and 10, you can see 5 and 10 are be assigned between 5 and 10. 4 is less than 5. Apparently, we don't have any number more than 5, any quantity more than 10 here. I think everything, we checked earlier on, it's all the quantity values are between 1 and 10. So it is just to know, we can, like Sadebi normally says, we should just cross check, just to be sure if you've done everything. You might have done everything right, but you just need to, go over it again, just scan through your data to see if you've not left anything out. So with this, we can safely say that we have created a band for the quantity. So now the question now is, okay, if I can as well achieve this by using conditional column, because this is exactly what you have to. If you come here and click on these settings, if you're to use conditional column, I'm sure this interface is very familiar. Is familiar. This is conditional column. You could have selected if select the quantity column, John, is less than is here. It is here. Then type in 5 here, type less than 5. Then come here again, select quantity column. Then is less than or equals to, we have it here as well. Then just enter 10 here. Then put in between 5 and 10. Then for our else, put more than 10. So I put more than 10. So what's the fuse about what's it called, custom column then? But the issue, the point here, the situation where you have to use a custom column is when the condition, is based on more than one single condition, or when the conditional column, let me put it this way, when the conditional column is based on more than one single condition. So we'll try one out and see the difference, what conditional column can't do for us, but can only be achieved, by using the custom column. Now, for instance, let's assume that we want to give, let's say, discount to any or to someone who has purchased goods over $1,500 or pounds, as the case may be. Over these the values we have here. These are the sales value. Someone that has purchased anything worth over 1,005 and has also purchased more than 5 units of good, more than 1,005 sales and more than 5 units of goods. You understand now? So 2 conditions must be met here. Let's look at these 3, this from here to here, 244. Okay, let's look at these 3 here now, from 244 to 2444 to 1315. These 3, let me say these 3 individuals, have purchased goods worth more than 1,500, but only one of them have purchased or has purchased quantity more than 5. Only one has bought units more than 5. That means only this person is qualified for that discount. Though these 2 people here purchase goods worth more than 1,005, but because of the fact that they bought quantities, or the units they bought were less than 5, they are not qualified for that discount. You can see that here we are checking two columns now. Two columns are going to decide what we are going to do next. So the outcome is based on the fact that the condition must be satisfied by two columns. Unlike the other ones we did, or the other ones we've been doing, if quantity is less than 5, give it this band. If quantity is more than 5 but less than 10, give it this band. It's always been about one column, which is quantity. Or unlike the one we've been doing, or if your GPA is less than 2, advised to withdraw. If your GPA is less than 2.5, that's a fail. So it's always, we have been testing one column. Now, if you have to test more than one column now, you are testing more than one column, you cannot use a conditional column. You have to use a custom column. So that's the major difference between using a custom column and using a conditional column. So let's see how this goes now. So let's go to conditional column and see how to implement this. Now, you want to give a discount now. You want to give discount of 20% or 0.2 for any customer that has met that condition I stated earlier. So discount. Let's see who is qualified for discount now. Now, it's just the same syntax. If what? If sales, just Mr. Adam, you can see once I double click on this, you can see it has given me that square bracket. I didn't have to type it in. So if sales is greater than 1,500, and quantity, let's just select quantity here. Quantity, is also greater than, but I've bought quantity worth more than 5, greater than 5. Then what should happen? Give that person that customer 0.2. We don't have to put it in quotes because this is a number. Shift enter. Else, if none of these conditions are met, what should we do? 0. Don't give that person anything. If the sales value of that person is greater than 1,005 and the quantity that person bought is greater than 5, that's only when you can give that person
That's
0.
15,000 you have there.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for that.
1,000.
Sorry? Okay, please go ahead.
Then you said 0.2 of what then?
No, we are not calculating discounts.
Okay.
Let's just know who will collect discounts.
Okay.
You understand? We want to know who will collect that. If we want to calculate discount, we'll just do 0.2 times that sales value. But we just want to know who wants to collect discounts. You understand?
Okay.
So once we do that, we just do no syntax error. We just go okay. So let's bring this. Let me drag this close to where the sales value and the sales column and quantity columns are. Let me put it in between. Okay. You can see this person is due for discount. If you check, this person is due for discount too, because it's sold. That person bought goods worth more than 1.5, and also units more than 5, and so on and so forth. So So that's no, we are testing two columns. So if you come here, this is where we use the conditional column. This is where the formula is. If we click on the edit here, if we check the edit, we see that it did not give us that conditional column interface.
Where
Because
did you click to come here now?
oh,
I don't see it from my side.
here, this gear here, this.
Where?
Can you
I'm
see
not
it?
seeing your cursor. Or maybe my...
No, towards the right. See
Oh,
where
okay, yes.
you can see
My
exactly,
yeah.
yes. When you click on that, you can see that it did not give me that conditional column interface. Unlike the other one where we tested just one column. Here it took me back to that custom column interface to show that this is not a conditional custom column. It's a custom column because we are testing two columns. So that is how. So we can play around with this. We can change this to or, instead of if. Let's just play around and change it to or. That means either you've bought goods worth more than 1,005, or you've bought units more than 5. So once either condition is met, you are qualified for discounts. So if we click on OK and go check the outcome, you can see that this person got a discount based on the number of units purchased. This one based on sales, number of goods, or the sales, the amount of goods bought. This one, no discount because this amount of goods bought, the amount, yes, is less than 1,000, and the number of units bought is less than 5. So that is the or condition here. So if either of the condition is met, you have the discount applied to you. So from here, we can now go ahead. If you want to calculate the discount, we can now go ahead and just do this, times this, and come to standard, multiply it, to know what discount each person gets. The discount value. So that means you can now see the discount value here, So that's a way to first know who is due for discount, and we can further, multiply the two numbers, discount and the sales amount, and get the amount of discount.
Please, can you repeat that multiplication steps that you just did now?
What I did was to select the two columns I want to multiply. Select this quantity, select this discount, the whole column, then hold down the control key, select sales, come to standard, click on multiply. It will create the new column that has the multiplication of the values in the two columns. So that's how it's done. So that's the major difference between custom columns and conditional columns. I hope with this we can safely say we've come to the end of the class. I don't know if anyone has any questions, addition, subtraction. I want to see. Okay. In the absence of none, or in the absence of